Well, hello, my name is Sami and I'm the Communications and Administration Officer at Christ College, Sydney. We're a special guest we're going to interview today. This is Jenni.
Hi.
I'll get Jenni to explain a bit more about her week. What do you get up to during the week? You have many hats, but particularly your hat related to NTE.
My hat related to NTE. So I am a research academic at Charles Sturt University in Bathurst. So I come here to NTE as part of the Simeon Network, which is the postgrads and academics network across Australia under the AFES umbrella. So it's Christian PhD students, master's students, honours students, people working in academia, whether it's at universities or research institutions, and we all come together and we think deeply about the Bible and hearing God's word together, but also bringing to bear all of our different disciplines and helping each other to expand our thinking and understanding of God's world and our place in it.
And you've done your own postgraduate research.
I have.
What did it involve? Can you tell us more about it?
So I worked for many years in research, and then I fell into doing a PhD.
You fell into it.
I fell into it. Yes. So I did a PhD in psychology and economics, looking at how we understand social impacts, how we measure that when there's a change in a community, and how we can measure that so that it can be included in cost-benefit analysis and other decision-making tools that are commonly used. So that involved interviewing lots of people, surveying lots of people, doing all the kind of data analysis that goes along with all of that.
And as a Christian, how have you seen your research affect the way you think about things like psychology from a Christian perspective?
For sure. So I think psychology as a discipline has become separated from Christianity. Often in academia, there's a sort of a discussion around how Christianity demonized people with mental illnesses. There was, historically there was a lot of, treating people for demon possession as opposed to treating it as an illness. And so it's kind of seen as the unsophisticated, unintelligent approach to humans. And I think as a Christian we have the ultimate psychology textbook in the Bible, because we have the Maker explaining and revealing himself to his people, and we understand why humans have the condition that they have. And so I think as a Christian, the more that I study the Bible, the more that I study theology, and the more that I study psychology, the more I actually see that they inform one another. And so for my work as a researcher, it's social research, it's people. And so as a Christian, I think I have a different worldview to my colleagues, which is about bringing another point of view, and that's what research is all about.
So you're affiliated with Christ College in a number of ways.
Yes.
At Christ College, one of our big things is that we train pastoral leaders for ministry in the Presbyterian Church of New South Wales.
Yep.
How have you been involved in that process?
So in New South Wales, we have a lot of committees that do things. So there is a committee that is the governing committee of the college. So I've been on that committee since 2009. And as kind of affiliated with that role, I'm also part of the candidates review panel, which is part of the process of someone becoming a ministry candidate and going through and becoming an ordained minister in the Presi Church of New South Wales.
If someone's thinking about studying psychology or social research, what piece of advice would you give them as someone who's a bit further down the road?
I think my first piece of advice would be if you are wanting to do further study because it's important to your identity, maybe give it a few years and think a bit more about it first. To really love research, it has been really important for me to establish my identity in Christ. That is my foundation, and so through the ups and downs of research, through the pressures of the tertiary kind of sector and what you need to do to kind of achieve and climb the ladder. I think if my identity wasn't in Christ, I would be consumed by that in a really unhealthy kind of way. And so my first piece of advice is actually to think about where your identity is first and foremost, and really make sure that you are firmly established in Christ as your foundation for being a researcher. And if you've got that foundation, looking at how you can really serve God with a research career. The first year that I came to CITE, to NTE, as part of the postgrad program, I heard about how a PhD from a Western university is like a passport into any closed country in the world. And so there's huge missionary opportunities and evangelism opportunities in having a PhD, particularly in an area like psychology. To be the one lecturer who isn't being really dismissive of Christianity is a huge witness in the university context.
For prospective academics and postgraduate students, how can they find out more information about being a Christian in that arena of life?
Yeah, sure. So the Simeon Network has a website. So definitely jump on there. Our National Director, Lewis Jones, his contact details are there, so get in touch with him. Get in touch with the AFES staff worker on your campus. They can put you in touch with the Simeon Network. There's lots of, depending on which university you're at, there may be a postgrad network that you can hook into. Where it's not as big a university, so we don't have as big a network, but we still like to pray for each other and encourage each other to be sharing the gospel with our colleagues and people that we interact with on a day-to-day basis at work.
Well, thanks, Jenni. If you have more questions about being an academic or doing some postgraduate research, definitely check out the CITE program, which will finish very shortly.
Wednesday.
Yeah. And for more Christ College specific information, you can visit our website at christcollege.edu.au/NTE. Thank you, Jenni.
No worries.